Why is it that in North America, getting a job feels like you're auditioning for The Bachelor? 10 interviews, 1 rose, and still no offer. Welcome to episode 6 of my 1 year in the UK series. Hi, my name is Dami, and I moved from Toronto to the UK last year. Today we're talking about culture shocks. So I used to live in London 14 years ago, so I won't talk about culture shocks that are commonly talked about. However, there's still some things that I hadn't experienced or some that I just clued into. So starting with work culture. From my experience so far, the UK has a better interviewing culture. So before I got my current opportunity, I was interviewing for a role in New York. For Americans or Canadians that have been through the job hunt process, you know how emotionally draining it can be. So for this role, I went through 6 rounds of interview. I did a case study, I did a design thinking session, and then I was dropped at the final stage.
Emotional damage.
The emotional damage. So that company actually gave me feedback, but going through processes like that over and over again can take a toll on you. And the same thing happens in Canada with ghost jobs that basically don't exist, but they post them online anyways. But in the US, it's worse with regards to how many rounds of interview you can go through. Contrast that to interviewing for roles in the UK, I typically will go through 1 round of interview, sometimes 2, and the maximum was 3. Another thing the UK does well is that they will let you know whether you're moving forward or not. They don't waste your time. They tell you whether at stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3. This is why we're not moving forward, and that's it. Typically, they'll give you feedback as well, or sometimes you can also request the feedback. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Job hunting is already very stressful, so the clarity makes a lot of difference. Also, from my experience, once you start to work, people give you feedback. So it's baked into progress reports or just everyday conversation. In Canada, people are super polite, and that's nice to an extent, but sometimes that politeness is so vague that it leaves me wondering, what exactly are you trying to say? Like, just get to the point. So here in the UK, I get the feedback more often, and it's practical so that you know what you're doing wrong and what you can improve on. I personally find that very refreshing. Also, life moves a little bit slower here. And even though I mentioned that I had an intense workload with my team this year, my previous team was very chill and slow paced that I complained of boredom. Generally, the consensus is that there's more of a work-life balance here in the UK versus the 24/7 hustle mentality in North America. Not to say that one is better than the other, it's just more so depending on your values and your preferences, pick the one that works for you. So for me, this is one culture shock that I can get behind. So let me know what culture shock surprised you. And if you live in a different country from the ones I've mentioned, let me know what your work culture shocks have been. I'll see you in the next episode.